Good morning. Welcome to another video on hams over IP. Oh, sorry, not from hams over IP. That's a slight mistake, and I'm not going to start the video again. From Ham Radio 3.0. How to configure SIP phones. This one is introduction to the Cisco SPA525G2. There are many videos out there. The last few over the last few days has been done by Andreas M0FXB. Thank you, Andreas. Once you've purchased your 525, there are a couple of guys on eBay over here in the UK. They've got them at a very reasonable price. I think there's one on eBay at the moment for £25. That's fully unlocked, password free, and the customization will be open. Once you've got your 525 and you've turned it on with either PoE, power over Ethernet, or from a separate power adapter, and you've done the Wi-Fi, when it's connected to Wi-Fi, you can actually find through the phone's menu the IP address. The IP address, all you need to do for the moment is just put the IP address in your web browser, like you can actually see at the top of the page. You would need, for the purpose of configuration, need to log in the admin window. And click on Advanced. I'm already in the advanced stage of this web interface for programming purposes, but as it is an introduction to the 525, I've come here anyway. You can see from the top of the page, Cisco 525G2. It's not a supported phone from Cisco anymore, although you still can actually find some good bargains for them. And there's nothing wrong with the phone. It's got its updated firmware, which is available. If the firmware is of a earlier version, you can update them. You can still find the files. Underneath the name Cisco, you've got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, address book, call history, speed dials, and firmware upgrade. I don't know, when I had this working for the VoIP networks, I don't really use this top bit. I did actually upgrade the firmware on this particular phone before, but you don't really need to worry about this. Once you've actually done the Wi-Fi from the phone, it's pretty easy to set up on Wi-Fi. Then you can leave all that top stuff alone. Underneath, you will see you've got a couple of tab windows: info, system, SIP, provisioning, regional, phone, line, or it's got extension, but they are line 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's a 5-line phone. User window. That's the attention console or the sidecar. That's something slightly different, which we won't talk about because it's not necessary at this particular moment in time. If you scroll down the first tab window, you can actually see product information. SPA525G2. Software version, which is the latest, 7.6.2F. Gives you a MAC address. And of course, the customization is open. If it's blocked or locked to Vodafone, then you probably won't be able to log in admin and advanced anyway, and you probably need it to get unlocked. There's a way of actually doing it. I've got some files or an instruction file to give away. You can leave me a comment on this video, and I'd be more than happy to get my tongue twisted out the way to send that information via email. Just quickly looking at the time because I don't really have long. System tab, it's no real necessary to talk about this. SIP information, provisioning on one of the networks, ham shack hotline. This is a supported phone, and they will program it for you or configure it for you online automatically to make sure this is on. Regional, that's just part of the phone. It's nothing really to worry about. This one is. Okay. This enables you to set, as it's a 5-line phone, line 1. I call it line key 1, but it's line 1. From the top of the phone working downwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I go back up, if I go back up to the info tab and scroll down past product information, you can actually see line 1 status has already been registered onto the network for the purpose of provisioning or configuring on another video. The phone tab line, these need to be enabled to the extension you are putting the phone, the network on. So line key 1 is line 1, the drop down menu, line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5. You can change these around. The line 1 becomes line 5 and line 5 becomes line 1. That's for the purpose, visual purpose on the phone only. It has nothing to do with the extension line, configuring lines that you put out on line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your configuration pages. So it doesn't matter what you have in line 1. Okay, it will always be on line 1 visually. On your phone, it will be shown differently. It's a little bit difficult to show you because I can't actually show you the phone at the moment. So these are your configuration pages. We'll be concentrating on where it says extension 1, but it's line 1. And another video. I'm only limited to 15 minutes, so we better be quick. User tab window. First thing you would need to do, once you get it all configured, display text messages on receive, set to no. Text messages from third party, set to no. Any changes whilst you're in the advanced area, scroll all the way down and submit changes. Good thing about Cisco, other than some other VoIP phones, you can go from page to page and you don't have to go back to change it on another page. So from here, I could go back to info, and whatever changes are made on user would stay until I've finished everything. Then I can do submit changes. Attention console. If you've got additional item, which is either the SPA525G2 or the 500DS, when they're attached to the phone, for it to work or for it to be used for speed dial links, into all star nodes, your friends, or conference rooms, you need to change the server type to asterisk. Asterisk is part of the 3BX that is compatible. There's nothing really else. I do have a little bit of coding for this somewhere, which on your side console for the lights or buttons, whatever you want to call them, can either flash red, green, or amber, or stay a solid green, amber, or red, depending on what you prefer. Okay, and that's a little bit of coding there. BLF won't work on the phone for one of the networks, and that network is Ham Shack Hotline. Do not configure your phone for BLF on the phone for Ham Shack Hotline. They will notice and they will block the IP address, and you have to go into their support desk, request an IP unblock, and remove the BLF. Unit 1 and Unit 2 are for the SACAR units, maximum of 2. You may be able to fit another one, but to be honest with you, 2's enough, because it's quite a lot of programming to do. On Unit 1, key 1 on the first button, there's a script that you can actually get that programs an extension for you to just press, and it automatically would dial the network on these tab keys here. 1. So if you've got HH, Ham Shack Hotline on extension 1 or line 1, and it's programmed correctly through the script, it would automatically ring that extension from what network you've got on line 1. For the purpose, I haven't got Ham Shack Hotline configured on line 1 at the moment, as I have to go through the provisioning, and this is too long a video. TR069 is something we're not going to talk about, and that's pretty much the introduction to a 525. What I would actually do when you're doing these networks, when you've got 5 of them, if you want the 5, you can. If you want to do 2 or 1 at a time, you can always submit your changes first, then go back and do another one. Where you're programming the side consoles, it's a lot of hard work. After working out what you want in its place, you can always program the first 5 or 10, submit changes, and that will be that. And then you can go back and do another 5 and another 5, submit changes, and it will program as it goes along. I think I'm coming up to time on this video. Thank you for a brief description, introduction on the Cisco 525G2, the ham radio VoIP networks. Thank you for watching my YouTube videos, Ham Radio 3.0. Please like and subscribe. Watch out for the second video on how to configure one of the lines for the VoIP network for amateur radio, All-Star Bridge Network. 73s, guys. Bye.